What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, back with the second episode of the Mick Schumacher career mode here in Bahrain. We're just about to head off into the qualifying session, but there was nothing here to show from practice. There was no incidents like there was in Australia. So here we go, heading on into the qualifying.
The cars are ready, the drivers are ready. We hope you're ready as qualifying is about to begin here in Bahrain. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
There we are, onto our first run, just coming down the back straight. Just my first run, so it wasn't our quickest run. A bit of a scruffy lap to start off with, but here we are coming into the final corner. Run wide, so it's obviously not been the greatest lap. DRS gets opened, and we go into P4 for our first run. Coming on to our second run now. P18 at the moment, so we're only ahead of the Williams at the moment. Coming into turn 1, already down on our last lap. Just braking too early that time, I think. Managed to brake later into turn 1 the last time, and for some reason that lap ended up still going wrong. But this lap is our fastest lap. We come up to turn 4, still a couple attempts down. It's not one of my strongest tracks, Bahrain, so I'm not really expecting to be too far up the grid. In fact, I was expecting to be higher up the grid in Australia, so that was quite disappointing weekend that was. Yeah, if you haven't seen that already, then go and check it out. It's on my channel. It'll be in the description as well. Here we are. We're now actually up on our last lap. So managed to gain some time in the last couple of corners. Now coming up to the last sector with the long left-hander followed by the long right-hander. Managed to gain some more time through here. Coming up to the last couple of corners as well. As you can see, we're up on our time in sector 2 by a few tenths. Get it even better in that corner as well. Coming up to the last corner now, getting our foot down. Wonder where we can get in the qualifying. Around the final corner. Don't run wide this time. Getting the power down. Up to the DRS zone. DRS open. Across the line, and that's put us P14, and we'll end up finishing P15 at the end of qualifying.
It's all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Vettel, Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
So there's some audio glitches in this video, just in this little scene here and then the first lap of the race. There's nothing too much, so I'll just be talking over the intro to the race from David Croft. But he's just running through the grid right now when it's showing the race. So Bahrain, been in the dark since 2014, been on the calendar since 2004. Hasn't really produced many memorable races apart from that one in 2014. The first one under the lights where Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton battled for several laps until Hamilton came out on top in the end. And obviously it's gone quite, the audio is completely gone, but all you can hear is Anthony Davidson mumbling at the moment in the background if it was the correct audio. But here we are in Bahrain, qualifying higher on the grid today, behind our teammate, not near Sorokin, who caused us several problems in the last race, and obviously our last race was quite awful. And here we are onto the grid for the race then. On pole, Sebastian Vettel. Good. Looks like Ferrari look better than Mercedes around here. Hamilton second, and Raikkonen third as well, ahead of the other Finnish driver in the Mercedes. 2 Red Bulls on row 3, as you would expect. Grosjean 7th, Perez 8th, Sainz 9th, Magnussen 10th, Alonso up there in 11th, Hulkenberg behind his teammate, unusual for him to be behind Sainz, Hartley ahead of Gasly, Stoffel Van Dorn quite far down the grid as you'd expect, then Stroll ahead of Sorokin at the back of the grid. And as we move on to the race. So here we are, it's 1 light, 2 lights, but now it's 5 lights. And it's away we go in Bahrain. We get a good start. Watch Hartley coming to our right, but we managed to get in front of him before he can cut in front of us. And then we come into turn 1. There's a nice gap for us to go dive down the inside. We're up to P9, P10, just slotting in behind Kevin Magnussen. Managed to get in front of Carlos Sainz. Obviously the audio is glitching there. And we come up to turn 4 behind Kevin Magnussen. What can we do? The 2 Red Bulls have been jumped off the start by both Perez and Grosjean, so not good for them. Coming through this corner, we see a little opportunity on the back of Kevin Magnussen. Nice little late breaker into this corner. Managed to get past him, and we're up into P9 already. We've made up 6 positions off the start. Coming up into this double left-hander. Behind Daniel Ricciardo, behind the Red Bulls. A good start. Much better start than Australia. Only took us 3 corners to get taken out in Australia, and we're already around the first lap pretty much here. Obviously a lot of understeer, the Red Bulls pulling away, so quite agonising to watch them get away. But there is a Force India in front of them, so not a fast car, so we might be able to latch onto these back markers. But here we are coming up to the last corner. Didn't mean the word back markers, but still. Here we are, on to the last lap. Hamilton leading after lap 1 as we get onto the DRS. Let's have a look at the start. Very clean start. Vettel away, Hamilton away, Raikkonen, everyone away well. Here we are moving to the left. Hartley trying to get in front of us, but get in front of him instead. And everyone, there's a clean gap there. It's a bit unrealistic from these Codemasters games that they make it so easy to make loads of places into turn 1, but we're going to take advantage of it anyway. Side by side with Carlos Sainz, we managed to get in front of him in the end. Coming up to turn 4, Hamilton leading the way from Raikkonen and Vettel, and here we are going down the inside. No, that's Charles Leclerc going down the inside of one of the Toro Rossos, my mistake. But we're ahead of Carlos Sainz, and just coming up to Kevin Magnussen here, where we made the move, stick on him. A late move down the inside of Kevin Magnussen. 2 Ferrari engines, different cars, and that is the highlights from turn 1, lap 1. And here we are on the end of lap 2 with the train of cars behind us, led by Valtteri Bottas, who has a problem with his car. So we got Kevin Magnussen on the back of us though. He's looking to make a move. We go to the inside to defend. Magnussen's got a run. He's coming down the outside, and he just about brake, but he gets ahead going into the corner, and we force him out. We can't make the move that time. We're coming up to turn 4. Bottas holding up both the Force India, the Grosjean, and both the Red Bulls. We're hoping to keep hold of this group because Bottas has a problem, and we can make any positions here. Both the Red Bulls struggling. Not going to be a good race for those by the looks of it. Ricciardo off the Renault next season in real life as well. Wonder how they'll do next season. Coming up to double left-hander, we've actually closed in quite a lot, and Perez in the Force India has actually got ahead of Bottas, a bit out of shape there as well. DRS is open though on the Red Bulls, but Kevin Magnussen as well is still behind us, as we've got a little train of cars behind us as well, because we're not really that quick around Bahrain, and we've got the 9th fastest car as well at this point. So you'd expect us not to be quick. Even then, understeering going through the long right-hander there, and the cars in front of us managed to pull away a little as they come up to the last corner of the lap. With Bottas actually holding them up as well. Here we are coming onto the straight. Grosjean's actually got past Bottas. There's Verstappen going for a move on Bottas. Ricciardo looking to make a move as well. And we're looking to make a move as well. There's 5 going into 1 almost, into turn 1. And Verstappen's actually getting past Grosjean as well. We've got past Ricciardo. Now we're behind Bottas, looking to make a move on the Mercedes. Wouldn't have thought that we would be making a move on the Mercedes at this point in the career mode. But here we are, going around the outside of Bottas, then going around the outside of Grosjean almost. and we managed to get past Grosjean as well, going into the S's here, making it stick, and we're up to P7 I think at this point, so we're just behind Verstappen, ahead of Grosjean, Bottas and Ricciardo in a few corners, so that is ideal for us. And we're just getting out of shape there as well. Grosjean sneaks past, almost sneaking past us, looking to make a move almost. Here we are, fast forwarding a little. It's Grosjean again, looking to make a move. He's on the back of us. He's not happy that we got past him, because he's looking to make progress in this race. Started quite high up, did Grosjean, and Bottas is now under pressure from Ricciardo as well, as you can see there. So we're not having to worry about Bottas too much at this point. Grosjean is now on the back of us. He's looking to make a move. He's got DRS. Is it a perfect opportunity for Romain Grosjean to make an overtake into turn 1? And he goes past us. So we're now looking to get some slipstream behind him. And we just try and outbrake him. We keep it hanging around the outside. And we're still fighting neck and neck with Grosjean up to turn 4. A good battle here with Grosjean. Now side by side going up towards turn 4. And we outbrake him. Managed to keep it ahead. There's still battles going on behind us with Ricciardo, Bottas and Magnussen as well. So we managed to keep ahead of Grosjean despite him getting ahead of us into turn 1 almost. And that is Magnussen as well now is ahead of Ricciardo, so Ricciardo's going backwards as well. He's getting stuck in traffic. And here we are coming up to our pit stop. Grosjean's pitted, so he's going to get the undercut, but we're now struggling because Magnussen's the one behind us in the Haas. We come into the pits with Magnussen coming behind us as well. And it looks like Carlos Sainz is coming into the pits behind us, along with Bottas, Alonso, and it looks like Ocon as well. Several cars pitting. Can we keep in front of Magnussen, Sainz and Bottas coming into the pits? Here we are, making our pit stop now. At the end of the pit lane, because Sauber finished 10th in 2017, so we're at the back of the grid. We do manage to keep ahead of Kevin Magnussen, and Bottas is ahead of Sainz as well. Sainz has had a poor pit stop. As we come out of the pits, get the pit limiter off, Grosjean goes past us there, and we just completely outbrake ourselves into turn 1, just trying to keep hold of Grosjean, but that puts Kevin Magnussen onto the back of us. So a great battle with the Hasses at the moment, halfway through this race. Coming up to turn 4, Magnussen on the back of us. We close to the outside, but we force him out, and Sainz now sneaked past him. So Sainz must have sneaked past Bottas as well. Bottas having a poor race. Don't know what the problem with his car is. But we come here to turn 7. Looking good at the moment. Sainz behind us. And coming on to the next lap. Yellow flags. What is that for? Who is out of the race? It looks like a Williams is out of the race as well. And it ends up being Sergei Sorokin. So karma for Australia, mate. Out of the race he goes. What was the problem with him? Coming out of the pits. He's side by side with Alonso. It looks as if his engine just blows here. Yeah, engine is blown. And on to the next lap. Charles Leclerc, my teammate. Same problem with him. His engine doesn't quite go up in flames, but he's slowing down and he looks to be out of the race too. So big problems for my teammate. It's only me who can bring home the points now for the team. Leclerc going very slowly and pulling off to the side of the track. Coming on to the end of lap 9. Sainz is on the back of us. Bottas as well behind him. So it's been a poor few laps. Sainz now gets ahead of us. Bottas hits us a little bit there. And we go to the outside, trying to stay ahead of Carlos Sainz, trying to keep hold of P8. Here we are. We run a bit wide though there. That allows Sainz to go through. And Bottas now goes through as well. Magnussen's on the back of us. We almost run into the side of him, forget that he's there almost. But we managed to keep ahead of Bottas there, running into turn 4. He keeps the door open for us, and we managed to keep in P9, but we lost P8 to Carlos Sainz, unfortunately. We're trying to keep hold of Sainz, but he's just going to get away now because he's in a stronger car. Much more downforce, much more stable in the corners as well. The only way we'd be able to get him is if we can get DRS. Yeah, but it looks like he's already too far away to even consider making an overtake into the next corner. But here we are, on to the end of lap 11. Magnussen now behind us with P9. Having a nice little battle with Kevin Magnussen onto lap 12. Can we keep hold of these 2 points? It would be very important for the Sauber team to get these 2 points. But we've run very deep into turn 1, and that is it. We let Magnussen go, and we cannot keep hold of P9. Unfortunately, Kevin Magnussen, we've had a quite a big battle with the two Hasses in this race, but we've come out second best to both the Hasses in the end. Coming on to these last 2 laps, can we keep it ahead of Valtteri Bottas? We are trying to keep in the points here. Bottas is looking to get back into the points. We've got Ocon behind us now as well. Bottas, very desperate for that point. Very desperate to show that he's not the second best Mercedes driver. He's coming up to turn 4. We're trying our best to stay in the points. It'd be awesome to get points in just our second race of the Schumacher career mode after such a poor round 1. Again, in the last couple of laps, we're having to defend ourselves going into the last dying embers of the race. Coming up to the double left-hander with Bottas behind us still. Doing everything we can, trying to defend our 10th position. We don't know when we'll be able to challenge for points again. So here we are. Doesn't look like Bottas is challenging at the moment. So we're heading into this left-hander. All good. Bottas not being able to challenge. I think he has a little bit of front wing damage from when he ran into the back of me on the straight earlier. That is not helping him. And of course he's got a problem with his car as well. Throughout the whole race he's had a problem with his car. I don't know whether that problem has gone or not at this point. So he's still looking to get back into the points. So we're trying to save up as much energy for the last lap of the race. And we have a poor exit then as well, coming through the last corner. We're turning up, but still Bottas is not on the back of us. So it looks like we're fine. We look fine going into the last lap. Feeling quite comfortable. Bottas is behind us still. Going into turn 1. Not having to worry about Bottas making a move down the inside. Ocon as well. We don't know whether Ocon is challenging Bottas. That could be helping us out a lot there. Still Bottas is keeping close distance to us, but not close enough to make a move, and we get out of shape going into turn 4. And then we can see the proximity arrows behind us of Bottas getting very close, wanting to make a move, but it's just not going to happen, especially into this corner. Although we did make a move into that corner earlier. Again, we're running wide. It's just that tyres are getting hot, tyres are starting to wear, and we've got a little bit of a train forming behind us now for P10. I think the only people that aren't actually attached to this train are the Williams drivers and maybe one of the Toro Rossos as well. But here we are, coming on to the last lap. It looks like Kimi Raikkonen is going to win for Ferrari as he crosses the line. Sebastian Vettel second. I think Vettel had a poor start, which cost him dearly in that win. And it ends up being Verstappen in third as well, crossing the line there. But Hamilton had a bit of a problem as well. So both Mercedes having problems in this race. You can see Bottas is now having another problem. Ocon, could he get past Bottas on the last lap? It looks like we're going to keep our P10, however. This is very good for us. Very good for Sauber, very good for Schumacher. Coming on to the last lap of the race, coming on to the last corner. About to cross the line, check the flag, and that is P10 in our first race.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
As you can see, Ferrari happy with their 1-2. They'll be moving into first in the constructors. Arriva Bene not really looking like he does in person. A little bit less grey there. But Raikkonen coming onto the podium. Verstappen third. So Verstappen had a great recovery drive after being stuck in the first few laps. Even being behind me at one stage, I think. And Raikkonen leading the championship as well now. So we move into 12th in the championship, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But
and after this round of the World
here we are. Here's the standings. Raikkonen first in the race. Perez finished fourth, so even good for him. We're up into we are 12th in the standings after that.
I have to give it to the Rainmaster. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace. Something that's a very handy skill to have in modern day Formula 1.
And
there you go, driver of the day as well. So ideal. But that's going to be the end of the episode there. But if you enjoyed this race, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. There'll be China in a couple of days. This will be a series that runs every 2 days, hopefully. So if you do like this episode, then hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in China for round 3.